What's up, guys? I'm going to talk about if form matters at all during exercise. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate this with WEC Method Club. So let's take a look at cueing with the club and kind of, hopefully this doesn't stop, cueing with the club and kind of what I look for with the club. So when I cue with the club, what I tell people to do is set their top hand or their power hand right below this seam of the club, if you can see that. So right below that seam, I tell people to place their power hand, right? And then right above this little nub of the club, I tell them to put their, we'll call it an accessory hand, whatever you want to call it. So I do that, and I tell people to do that because the further down this hand goes, the more this bottom hand can kind of help out. And if we're looking for non-dominant side training when we switch out, we want that top hand, so I'm not left-handed. We want that top hand to do the bulk of the work, right? And if that hand is closer to my right hand can kind of take over, right? And I don't want that to happen. I want this hand to be my driver, right? Because I'm not very good with this hand, so I want it to work when I do some stuff, right? So that in itself is an issue. So we start to get down here, and all of a sudden now it's this two-handed swing where non-dominant side training, I want that opposite hand to do the bulk of the work when it's that hand's turn or that side's turn. So there's that. So when we get into actual movement, and I tell people to take the shortest route, give yourself a mohawk with the club, and then drop that club in between the shoulder blades. Hi. And I drop that club in between the shoulder blades. What I'm looking for is that form and trying to keep the elbows in, club in between the shoulder blades, so I have that kind of stretch of the front side of the core, and I open up the shoulders, right? If we just say, okay, put the club overhead, right? This can turn into this, which can turn into this, which turns into this. So, doing an exercise, which is going to be more important, right? Which is going to be more valuable. So, if I do that front squat and I go here and I just do this, that's over my head, which is what some people do, right? I do this, right? Which isn't super challenging for me. Or I put that back here, I get that stretch in my core, my shoulder mobility, and I get a bigger range of motion with resistance, right? Which one of those is going to be more effective in terms of a workout for me? So that is kind of in a nutshell why form does matter, right? We don't want to lose the effectiveness of the workout because we don't want to go through the proper form, right? I can do that because I'm going side to side, right? But is this as effective as that, right? So does form matter, right? I can do this and flip it, and yes, I'm doing the end result of both of the exercise, but getting out and across is going to put more time under tension on the muscle. It's going to give me bigger range of motion. And it's going to be ultimately more effective for what I'm trying to get, which is more athletic, more calorie burn, more flexibility. So does form matter? Yeah, it does.